Guys, first day, out here being able to work some, situational offense and defense. We worked some third down today. I thought again this was a day that there was a little bit of back and forth. I thought, early on in practice there were some plays there, 7-on-7, first team period. I thought the offense did some really good things. I thought the defense kind of responded. And played much better, towards the last couple, periods of practice. But there's been a lot of back and forth between both sides. The thing I've been most encouraged about is that our guys have been, for the most part, executing at a pretty good level and competing extremely hard against each other. So, and I think that's the way you get better. So, go ahead.
Yeah, what do you know about what happened with Chris Olave?
I think he just landed on his hip, but it's hip, and that's really about all I got right now.
Seems like Chase is getting more and more disruptive as the days go on.
Yeah. Look, he got more reps today. I think, the plan was kind of to try to get him about 3 or 4 reps in each team period. So I'd say he probably got, around 9 reps or something like that today in practice, which is, maybe about, a half to a third of what he might normally get if he was taking, full reps. But he's certainly a disruptive player, and you can tell the difference when he's out there, and so now it's really about, slowly bringing him along, allow him to continue to get, more and more reps so he gets his body in football condition, and then he can kind of, make sure he understands what we're trying to do within the scheme.
I know it's way too early to start talking about starting positions and who's going to play where on the starting 11, but do you feel like he's coming in with the mentality that I see an opportunity to get on the field right away?
Well, look, all of my conversations with him and all of our dialect has really been just about him coming in, committing to what we're going to ask him to do, and working his tail off at doing those things, and contributing to the team in whatever manner that is. And look, certainly he's out here competing, trying to be the best version of himself, and if he's one of the best 2 to have out there, then there's a chance that he's, in the starting lineup.
If you have your full slate of options at defensive end, what kind of versatility does that give you, even on third
Well,
down?
yeah, I think if everybody is healthy, then I think we've got a lot of versatility, at the defensive end position. And so we've got some guys that have the ability to play on the edge. We've got some guys that have the ability to go inside, and in particular in passing downs. So I think there's a lot of versatility in how we can utilize those guys if we have the full array of that group.
How would that maybe change the mentality and, like, I don't know how often you send pressure? So, like, if you're winning more up front, does that change what you can do at the back?
Well, look, I think I think if you're able to get the best way to be able to rush the passer and play pass defense is when you can get after the passer and only have to rush 4, and now you can commit 7 in coverage, and so I think that's where it always starts. And then if you're not able to get after the passer as much as you need to with a 4-man rush, then you got to start bringing extra guys. And so that would be the hope would be is that we've got a group of guys, and not just 4 guys. I think the best defensive lines are the ones that have waves that they can just keep rolling guys in there. And so offensive linemen, they don't substitute, they play the whole game. And so keeping fresh bodies on the defensive line, I think, is important as the game wears on.
Dennis, at this point, the 11 on 11s, when the offense hasn't put everything in, is this the point in training camp where maybe the defense has an advantage in those because they're not seeing a ton and they're seeing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look. Yeah, I certainly think that, and I think the same thing kind of goes offensively, and that you don't have as many things in defensively. So I think the earlier you are in training camp, the more I don't want to say simple, but the less complex the schemes are, and then as you get going, you begin to add and add and add and add and add and add, and they become more complex as you go along. I do think there's a certain, when you look at the passing game, there's a certain timing and rhythm that has to occur in the passing game, and that takes time. That's not something that happens on day one, and so I think from that standpoint, the defense has an advantage.
Yeah, when you're looking at that NASCAR package, I know we saw Peyton Turner shift inside a little bit today. What is the kind of skill set? Is there a certain, are there things you look for someone who can make that shift inside more effectively? Because I know it was Kano a good bit last year, and he's obviously not.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously it's different when you're rushing inside, but there's still a lot of the same characteristics. I mean, size and length are things that help you in terms of being able to rush the passer. The more distance you're able to create between you and the offensive lineman, the easier it is for you to, be able to get from one move to the next to be able to rush the passer. Things happen a little bit faster, inside, so you got to be able to react a little bit quicker inside. You got a little bit more time when you're on the edge. But yeah, I think just that size and that length is something that we look for in guys to go in and rush inside.
That versatility that Nick was asking about, do you see it on a day like today where the pass rush seemed like it had a pretty good day?
Yeah, and look, I'll go back and look at the tape and see exactly what it looked like, but yeah, I think the more guys that you have on the field that have the ability to win in a one-on-one rush, and if you think about it, if you got 4 rushers and you really got 5 protectors, then somebody's getting a double, but you're getting a couple of one-on-ones along the way, and so the more guys you have that have the ability to win a one-on-one pass rush, the better rush team you're going to be.
Dennis, how would you evaluate Fuaga so far? What have you seen? What did you like? Does he work?
Well, I think, look, the number one thing I'd say is, for a rookie, his name's not getting called out a lot. And when you're an offensive lineman and nobody's really talking about you that much, that usually means you're doing a pretty good job. So he's picked up the scheme pretty well. The physical nature and the way that he plays, I think, has shown up out here. I think that, obviously that was the thing that attracted us to him in college. I still think, obviously he's still got, a long way to go. But I've been really, really encouraged with what I've seen and him making that transition, to the left tackle position.
Does that seem kind of, I don't know, natural is the right word, or like kind of an afterthought at this point? Or are you just like learning how to play in the NFL rather than learning to play?
Yeah, I think he's gotten through any rust or angst about playing over on the left-hand side. Now it's just really, understanding how to play that position in the NFL, and it doesn't matter whether you're a right tackle or a left tackle. It's it's a tough position to play, and but I think he's handled the adjustment well, and I think he's transitioning well to what we're asking him to do.
What about this offense? Like it fits Jordan Mims. Why does he seem to fit it so well? Is it kind of like vision, or like what's?
Yeah, look, I think with the wide zone scheme, I think that's a run that he runs pretty well. I think he understands what those tracks look like. I do think he's got some good vision in terms of how to run that play, and so you buy yourself a little bit of time to make the reads, as you're taking this, wide zone path. That buys you a little bit of time, and look, I think our guys have done a really good job of really teaching exactly what we want these things to look like and exactly what we want this track to look like. And there's plenty of video examples of, hey, look, if you run the track exactly like this and you do it time in and time out, here's where the cuts end up being, you know. And so, look, I just think he's taken to that. He's studied it, and I think he's done a good job.
Do you have updates on St. Brad and Fuaga?
Well, Horvath was away for personal reasons. I think his flight was getting back in today at 9:20, so he should be back out here. And St. Brown's got a little bit of a hamstring.
Nathan Perry taking a step forward, backwards, or where is he right now?
Well, yeah, I would say I wouldn't say either one. You know, I'd say he's kind of holding steady right now. I'm kind of waiting to see him, you know, do something that's going to jump up and catch my eye a little bit. You know, certainly we've seen some other guys, you know, step up and make some plays. Some guys that maybe we might not have expected, but I think, you know, look, I think AT's doing fine. I do think that he's got to, you know, do something to take that next step and you know, make one of those plays that's going to kind of catch our eye a little bit.
He's doing fine. Good. What you've seen of other guys is doing it fine enough to make this run.
Well, doing fine in anything's not gonna end up cutting it, you know. And so, yeah, I mean, he, along with a lot of other guys, have to do some things to, you know, catch our eye and impress us. And so I'm still waiting on that from him.
You know, he had a pretty good opportunity like the last half of the season to kind of get some playing time, and it seemed like he grew from there. Why do you think that step forward kind of hasn't happened?
Yeah, look, I can't say, you know, and it might just be that some of these other guys have stepped up a little bit more, you know, and made themselves noticed a little bit more. And so, but that's why we come out here and we practice and we do the things that we do out here at practice, and we go through the evaluation process. We're not cutting the roster today, you know. He's plenty talented enough to be on this team and plenty talented enough to make plays for us. I just think we need to see it a little bit more often out here at practice.
So Lucas Patrick at left guard today. What is it about Lucas that kind of leads you to? Because it seems like he's back up at center, he's at guard.
Yeah, look, he's a true veteran. You know, I mean, he's pro. Comes to work every day. He's got a great attitude. Really smart. Competes. Got a lot of qualities that we're looking for, and he's got experience. He's played in this league, and I know when we had to play against those guys in Chicago last year, you know, I thought they were well coached up front, and you know, I thought he was a good player for them.
And when you're making, you know, obviously 2 changes at the tackle positions, is that helpful to just have a veteran in a new spot when you have kind of that shift?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think in a perfect world, we'd all like, you know, our whole offensive line to be a bunch of veteran guys that's been established and played in an elite level in our league for a long period of time. And but that's not where we're at right now. So, but yeah, having an established veteran that can step in and help in the communication and things of that nature, I think is, yeah, I think that's beneficial. Yeah. All right, guys, thanks. So, yeah, but that may continue.
Now you fresh.
Out. Or not?
Today it was bad. Every other day it was
All years on.
Fire away. Jeff?
So how's the first week of camp been? Obviously new position. Have you felt like it's been natural? Has it been kind of a test?
Yeah, definitely a test. Just trying to knock some rust off and just trying to get into my left-handed stance and, pass set, run set. Just trying to get a better feeling over here. So.
How much, I don't know, translating takes place, like kind of going from side to side? Like, is it getting natural? But like, what is kind of like, the mental process of that?
I don't think there's like a lot to it. It's just knowing your assignment really. It goes from 9 to 8 and 8 to 9. Really just know your numbers and know what is left and right. So.
And just playing with different guys, you got some rotation at that guard spot. What's that like?
No, I haven't really got rotation.
No, you playing with different guys, like on the side. Like, is it communication? Like, I don't know. Like, do you have to learn how to communicate with different guys and figure out how to play off of?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say everybody kind of communicates very well in this O-line. Everybody's like well taught, and I don't think we really have a problem talking out there. So.
I guess what has been the biggest thing you have learned in this last week or so?
I think really just learning the level of competition you're going against. I don't think there's really a big difference in the playbook wise. It's just every day I'm trying to learn a little bit more and more in the playbook, but I think the quality of the reps is kind of like learning different things with different players. So.
Last week, I think Eric said that you were a dog. He said that you're the best rookie offensive lineman that he's ever played with. Just your thoughts on just hearing Eric say that about you. He said he didn't want to tell you that much because he didn't want to get too big.
I love Eric because he's like a big brother to me right now. I think the whole line really is big brothers to me. Just being able to like hear that from a guy like that, it's just a blessing. So I'm just trying to, not really listen to it, but listen to it at the same time and just play my game. So.
And what have been your thoughts on Chase Young? I don't know if you're going up against the line. What have been your early thoughts of him?
I think he's a great player. He plays with some speed and power. He has like a lot of different tools he could use. He's a big dude. I ain't really seen players like that in college, so it's a blessing to go against a guy like that. He's good.
Yeah, just watching from the sideline, it does seem like that size, even at the defensive end position, is different. You know, is that when you kind of line up against that? Obviously, it's just the last 2 days in terms of team drills. Is there, do you have to kind of lock in a little bit more when you see it? Yeah,
I'd say you got to lock in, but it's just being able to just go out there and just play your game. It's just a mentality, I would say.
Is it a wow moment, kind of like your eyes kind of get big and you see how, wow, this guy's dude I'm lining up against?
It's definitely like, wow, this is Chase Young, or like Carl Granderson, or wow, this is Cam Jordan. But at the end of the day, I just got to play my game. It's like a boxer's mentality. You can't really be afraid of anybody.
Have you learned anything about yourself? Just getting the pads on, having to block these guys, anything like that?
No, I really haven't learned anything really too much about myself that I already know. Just trying to take one play at a time and just have a boxer's mentality, like I just said. So.
With McCoy saying that like you're the best rookie offensive line he's ever seen, like, does it feel like to you that you're having that good of a camp, or like how does this feel for you?
I heard it, and I really am thankful for that, and I really appreciate Eric because Eric's a great player, and just getting that is a blessing. But for myself, I listen to it. I'm very thankful, and I just kind of put it away just because I know I got to get better.
I guess, yeah, just from a confidence standpoint, or like do you feel like you're having the type of camp that would warrant that conversation?
I'd definitely say that, yeah. Just because I see myself, just learning how to get better and better each day, which Lucas Patrick, tried to tell me. So just trying to get better.
Yeah, how has that kind of continuity developed? Obviously, Nick wasn't out there today, but that 5-man group has been pretty consistent throughout the offseason. How have you seen that grow from OTA's minicamp to now?
Just being able to create a chemistry in the O-line room. I think when we have meetings and stuff, we're definitely a lock-in sort of mentality, but we always like to have fun and just learn about each other, learn who's from where, because it's we're all from the United States and all from different kind of places, and we all come to a room, and it's fun to have, but just being able to have that chemistry is just it's a good feeling.
Gotcha. We've heard Derek kind of talk about the group and how Eric has developed as a leader. Obviously, it's your first year. You weren't playing with him last year or whatever, but how has he been as a leader? Has he kind of really taken charge of that room?
Yeah, I'd say he has like a leadership kind of voice when he talks to the whole kind of group, whether it's meetings, whether it's practice. He's out there and just trying to be able to pump everybody up and just put everybody into that mentality that, hey, we're not losing today, we're not losing this down, we're not losing this play. Everybody do their assignment, and we're gonna have a good drive.
I mean, how important is that? Like, just to have someone who is kind of that established leader, where it's like, okay, the buck kind of stops here. Is that something that benefits an offensive line?
I definitely think it benefits the O-line. I think it just because as the O-line, what my mentality is, it starts up front. You know what I mean? So as long as the O-line, we're all set and we're all into that mentality of, hey, we're going to win every single play, and I think the whole offense just gets a whole, thing rolling. So.
What else? All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Colin, or are you waiting on the E2 Perry? Okay, thank you. Just have him wait there. Can I get that over?
Oh, okay.
What's up, everybody? I'm halfway asleep, but I made it though. Okay.
Carl, I guess just assess your first week, or how about the last 2 days in pads?
Man, we finally got the pads on. Excited. We finally could hit, compete, fly around. And it's a blessing to be out here in this weather. But, you know, I miss my hometown, miss New Orleans. You know, I miss my peoples. I miss the food. But like you said, we got the pads on now, so it's go time.
What's it been like for you personally? How do you think you've come along?
Yeah, I'm just working on my mentality right now. My mentality got to be right. just do my job so my teammates could just follow behind me. So I'm just trying to be a leader out there and lead by example.
I think a lot of the questions today have been like Chase Young, just how impressive he is.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts playing alongside of him and just his physical presence and just how big he is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a great player. He did a lot of things at Ohio State and throughout the NFL. So to have him as a teammate, it's a blessing, learning from him techniques and just watching him. And he learned stuff from me too. But not just Chase Young, we got the other guys around, and we all doing a good job as a unit. We playing fast, we playing physical, and we playing smart. So we getting after it.
Could you walk us through what happened on the Rashid jet sweep? It seemed like you kind of really blew that up.
Oh yeah, I'm just watching film. I'm trying to do my job out there. I'm playing fast. It just caught me in the right moment, the right place at the right time. So yeah, I'm just trying to make plays and be a playmaker so I could get out there on game day and do the same thing.
Had you shed your block by that point, or did you just get like an arm on it?
Man, I was just shooting up the field, trying to get some knockback on my blocker, and I just fell into the play. So that's what happened when you're in the right place.
When you guys do throw the pads on, what are you learning about your new teammates, the rookies, the guys coming in?
I learned a lot. When you finally put the pads on, that show you who's really tough. OTAs, we went all off season, pity-patting and talking and chirping and everything. So the pads show you if you're a real man or not. And that's what I've been seeing out of my D-line. They've been showing some tough, and their mentality been right. So we just got to be consistent and go throughout camp and stay strong.
Did this feel like one of the more tone-setting days for the defense? It felt like there were a lot of really, just impactful plays.
Right.
They were setting the tone.
I mean, I want every day to be a tone setting for the defense. Not just one day, not every other day. Every day we got to come with it, make our offense better, and we just got to come to compete. So today we had a good day, so we got to just keep stacking these days.
The defensive end group in general, would you say this is the deepest or kind of most competitive group you've been a part of? It just seems like 5 players who could play, feel like they should get snaps, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want depth, and that's what we got right now. We got a few first rounders, we got some undrafted guys, and we got depth right now. So that's a good thing because we can compete and make each other better, and we all can get that starting spot. So that's what this camp is for, evaluation, and everybody just got to go out there and do their job.
When Dennis has mentioned the defensive end room, he's kind of brought up a question for like can Chase get healthy, stay healthy, Peyton Turner, can he make that stuff? Like, he doesn't really have any questions about your game. He said that you kind of earned the right to just be who you are, and you've earned a lot of respect. What have you made of kind of your progress and how you maybe worked your way up to?
Yeah, each year I'm thinking about people ask me you ready for training camp, and I tell them I'm ready every year. So my mentality coming into training camp is to try to get a starting spot and get better from last year. So nothing is given. You got to earn everything. So that's what my job coming into this camp is, to earn that position. And even if it's to be a role player or make my teammates better, I'm here for it. So you got to earn the right. Ain't nothing in this league given to you. So yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the first, obviously the 3 first rounders and second rounder.
Yeah.
Does it ever kind of strike you as like, hey, I'm the UDFA of this group. Like, I'm the guy who kind of got out the mud or whatever, however you want to phrase it. Because it does seem like, yeah, all this draft investment, but you want to be that guy, right?
Right. I mean, you got to know thyself. If you know thyself, and then you're going to know the position that you bring to the team. So, like you said, we got some talent, and we each going to have a different role in the defense. So, whether it's off the edge, if I got to go in there and play nose and take on a double team, I'm all for it. But, yeah.
Sorry, just going back to Chase. A lot of people kind of remark how surprisingly big he is.
Yeah. What you mean by big? I'm taller than him.
Okay, well there you go.
So you talking about size,
size? Yeah. Well, just I mean, I know, did his size stand out to you at all or anything? Or did you see
I mean, obviously he got the size, and he's coming back healthy and stronger than ever. Like I said, I'm taller than him, so.
Okay.
But other than that, he's a strong player. He looked good out there during practice, taking on blocks. He got some tremendous pass rush moves. So I'm excited for him to stay healthy for the rest of the season and get after it and see what he could bring to the team.
All right.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
How y'all doing?
How do you feel like your camp has gone and even kind of this whole offseason?
It's been going good. Just putting in a lot of work in the off season and just studying this offense. Just making sure make an impact out on the field. So.
What were some of your goals going into year two? Stuff that maybe you saw in your rookie season that you felt like you wanted to come and improve on?
Really just be consistent. Just taking another step each day. Just getting better. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be, at the top with the other guys. So just making sure I just stay consistent and just keep working.
How do you feel like you are picking up the offense? How's that process been?
Just working with the receiver coaches and everything. Just making sure I get the details and stuff down. It's starting to come along. Just learning 3 other positions. So, it's kind of like tricky at first, but now that repetition and everything, and walking through the plays, starting to pick it up.
Was there a point where you started to feel it kind of shift a little bit, like to where it is getting more comfortable and there's just more play and less thinking and stuff like that?
Yeah, just right now it's all just mental. Right now, just picking up just a little detail stuff like that. I'm out there just making the plays. So.
Dennis was kind of saying that like you've been fine, but they want to see it maybe more often. Do you feel like you maybe haven't made that leap that coaches wanted you to see, or how do you kind of feel?
Not really sure. Just coming out every day, just working, honestly. And then the plays I do get, just trying to go out there and catch the football. When I'm not getting the ball, just making sure I'm going and blocking and everything. So, just coming out here, just trying to be consistent.
How valuable was that last year stretch where you got some expanded playing time and could kind of show what you could do? Just looking back at it now, what did that teach you, or what did you kind of how have you used that to build on this camp?
I know that just before I wasn't playing, just learning how to be a pro, and then when I'm actually playing out there, just staying with my body, and then as well as studying the script, going out there and just playing, honestly. So just going in this year, like I said, just keep up with the same things, just being consistent and just making plays.
With Chris and Rashid, obviously, they're the top 2 guys in that room now. Young players. How have you seen them kind of develop as kind of leaders in that room, if you will? Because it is a young wide receiver room compared to what maybe we've seen in recent years.
Yeah, just those guys just come in every day and working and just really just watching them make plays on the field and stuff like that. Just all of us together, just going through plays and stuff like that. Just really being a leader in there. I'm excited for them too. They just come out every day with the same energy, same consistency. So just building off that and looking at that, just want to do the same thing. So.
Just what's kind of been your impression of Jake and Spencer just throughout camp? So
they're ballers, man. They're out here making plays. We're young, so we're still learning the plays and stuff like that. But seeing them every day, just getting better and better, just with throwing the ball and reads and everything, it's exciting. I'm excited for both of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Appreciate it.
All right, that's a wrap, guys.
Thank you.